from my colleague know that I think that this is an area where we can and we should be leading. There is no reason why we should not. So I'm with you in supporting your urging to the agency, to the department, to advance. I want to talk not about nuclear, but something that I think doesn't get enough attention, and that is the potential for geothermal. We've got great resources, certainly in my state, but we have them in other parts of the country as well. Over the past couple months, the department issued 2 critical studies, one related to geothermal, and one was the National Transmission Needs Study for 2023. I think both of these studies, very important, very timely, but 2 very glaring omissions. They were national studies, but they somehow or other forgot 2 states. I just don't understand it. Actually, I find it inexcusable and astonishing that Hawaii and Alaska would not be included, particularly in a study for geothermal. When you're thinking about geothermal heat and volcanoes, what do you think of? You think of Hawaii, you think of Alaska. And so it was remarkable. We saw one briefing provided to Congress. The slide simply showed the resources in the lower 48, and there was a question mark over Alaska and over Hawaii. And in the GeoVision report, the department cites a couple reasons for the exclusion, and they said that the modeling that was used was primarily designed for the contiguous United States. Okay, I can kind of get that, but the fact of the matter is Hawaii and Alaska are never going to be part of the contiguous United States, and so if we're going to just completely keep them out of any future assessments, I think we would agree that that's not right, that's not reasonable. So I would ask you to commit to conducting a study of the geothermal resources that we have in Alaska and in Hawaii.
Well, let me say this, Senator, and I'm not sure this is done that often in DC hearings, but we need to do better.
Thank you.
And I'm heading to Alaska in a few weeks, as you know, and looking forward to having whatever meetings you find helpful to make sure that I'm aware. Our secretary has been up there as well, visiting with you, and making sure that all of us throughout the department, not just our Arctic Energy Office and Aaron Whitney, who's our new leader of that office, but all of us at the department are doing what we should. On the transmission needs study, we have relied on existing modeling for that needs study. It's an interim, and now we're putting the final together, and Alaska will be part of that final need study, and we're working on that to make sure. We need to, frankly, work with you and work with others to make sure we have the modeling, we have the analysis either that we do or that others do so that we can make good resource decisions off on that front. But we're making improvements on the transmission needs study.
Okay.
And on the map issue, I spent a significant time yesterday and today with colleagues at our department. We need to do better on that front.
I really appreciate you recognizing that Alaska is not going to be at a disadvantage when it comes to federal funding because we're not part of that transmission needs study. So I thank you for that commitment. I also thank you for committing that you can do better, and I appreciate the fact that you are coming to the state of Alaska. As you note, Secretary Granholm has had an opportunity to be up north, see one small geothermal community, if you will. We're certainly happy to include you in that site visit, but there's a lot more certainly that we can look to. The grid resilience issue and transmission needs study. The Matanuska Electric Association and our Alaska Energy Authority are working together on applications for funding for the grid resilience and the innovation program, the GRIP program. You're going to be getting a letter pretty soon from me and the other members of the delegation in support of these applications. But if Alaska was included in the transmission needs study, you would absolutely see that it is in desperate need of transmission upgrades, probably more so than any other region in the country. The bipartisan infrastructure bill funds represents an incredible opportunity for us in Alaska to stabilize an aging grid by bringing it to modern standards, enhancing resiliency in the face of unprecedented natural disasters, climate change, rugged geographic terrain. These improvements are really, I can't underscore enough how critical they are to preparing our state for a fuel-diverse, clean energy future, as well as integrating new sources of energy along this. And so as you're planning your trip, if we can make sure that this is on your itinerary, we will work with you in advance. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to discuss more of these, as well as what we're doing with small hydro, the Arctic Energy Office that you have noted, and then the opportunities for potential resources related to our critical minerals. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I thank the committee.
Senator Coons.
Thank you, Chairman Heinrich. Great to see you again.